Yep. Think I'm gonna be quick with this one. I always say that to have a long one. But shout out to everybody coming through after Thanksgiving. I just had to bring my leftover crab meat from crab and shrimp and pasta to work. I had to, top it up, spice it up with some peppers and stuff. And I cut up some chicken and dropped it in there. Shouldn't have ate that early this morning. Too heavy. Well, I'm finna tear my stomach up, but hey, gotta get rid of that food. Hey man, it actually wasn't that much left over. Cause like with seafood, you still be hungry a couple hours later. So I ate two big meals. Thanksgiving. We actually ate Thanksgiving early this year. Normally, people say, well, Thanksgiving's gonna be ready at the 6th, and you end up being ready at 8 or 9. Um, Pretty much without the what was it on that wasn't on schedule. The turkey wings, but we ended up not cooking that, and some of the fish got froze because the boys put the fish in the freezer instead of putting it in the refrigerator like we told them. So, but other than that, man, it is what it is, man. It's pretty good turnout for Thanksgiving. But now back to business. I got some pictures, got some little videos I made. I might post them up and everything. But other than that, man, great time, man. I ain't really go run over there with the families and stuff. Went and seen a couple of friends, and that was about it. But other than that, had a good time. Lobster tail crab. This year we ended up having a crab boil. Like I was saying, it was pretty good, you know. Um, but like I said, back to usual. The Thanksgiving's over. Said hey to the family members and stuff. Miss my wife. Grandmother. I'm probably gonna go see her this weekend. Normally, that's one of the joys is going over Thanksgiving with the family to the aunt house, going to see her for Thanksgiving because she always be happy to see me, and I'm always happy to see her. Older she is, 93, so that's a blessing to live that many years, man. So when it come down to it, to say the least, just enjoying family for the holidays. That's always the thing, you know. Um, but basically, when I start talking about my thing is money. Um, getting back on your toes, man. Getting back on your square. The new year coming in, tax season gonna be coming back around. A lot of us need to start, figuring out what we're gonna claim next year on our taxes. You're gonna itemize some things so you can get a little more back. Itemizing is the best way. Don't leave all your money on the table. It's still time now to donate some of them clothes to Goodwill. Get some of your laundry, what I'm saying, from the dry cleaners. Get those receipts and everything. Donate, Goodwill, um, Kidney Foundation. We actually gonna be donating a car this year. We donated one before to the Kidney Foundation. So we're gonna actually donate one of our old cars that, just no need us and trying to put any money into it and ain't really trying to sell nobody no lemon or anything. And with the Kidney Foundation, what they'll do is just have a mechanic come fix it up, and then, excuse me, have a mechanic come fix the car, and then go ahead and have that car out for someone to have and to be less fortunate. Hopefully, that's the thing, and they're not taking the cars and trying to flip them and resell them. Who knows? Because once you sign it over, they have those cars. you know. And the biggest thing is, like I said, helping people. It wasn't much to actually make a plate for somebody this year, like I said, because with seafood, we didn't make that much, because majority was just gonna be a few of us there at the house. It wasn't gonna be a lot, so yep. Excuse me now, but like I said, get to these plans for Christmas. Please, once again, do not overspend. Me and my wife, we've already came to agreements for one time this year that we not gonna spend a lot for Christmas. I typically go in spending about close to three, maybe 4,000 for Christmas, just about almost all the time. My friend ended up getting Pandora one day. I mean, one year I flooded my wife Pandora bracelet. Um, fooled around. One year I got my wife another Pandora bracelet. Fooled around, got her some diamond earrings. That was before Christmas. And I mainly it's the kids get a lot of toys and stuff. About dirt bikes for 'em. They in the Jurassic Park. I'm gonna show y'all one of the videos I got, and don't be clowning me out because y'all see my carpet. That's kids. That's their room carpet, man. Hey, no matter what I do, I clean their carpet, come back. I done made them have like the golden rule: don't drink, eat nothing in their room. They dropping markers, all kind of stuff, with tracking in their shoes into the room. That's what I'm thinking about. Just the best thing for me to do. My wife don't like hardwood in the rooms, but I'm like that might be the best thing for their room because they track some of the stuff in their room, and I'm like, man, like how y'all room is just this nasty. Like the floor is just this nasty. So I'm debating on doing that as well. But for the most part, like I said, we're not gonna be doing too much this year as far as, you know, planning for the new year, getting some things in order. Kids gonna get, the usual little clothes here, little stuff, probably a little, not really so much toys. They more or less their computers and stuff might end up getting one of my sons a new computer and and putting a monitor in his room or something, a big monitor, because he don't really do nothing but like watch movies and stuff on his laptop. So it might get him a monitor and a keyboard and letting him, do that in his room. But other than that, yeah. And then turn around with my other son. He collect Pokemon cards. Not too really big on fashion like the other one is. So he gonna get a couple of his little things and then let that be it. But other than that, yeah, man, we gonna see how this thing gonna run going into the new year. Yeah, I'm getting some little change out my car. About to get ready to head into work. But yeah, man, back to usual. Like I said, saving money, being dedicated to your pockets because you gotta understand you still gotta live. I've always been big on Christmas because me being young, I didn't have a big Christmas, so I spoiled my kids. Even my other older two kids, I spoiled them on Christmas. My wife was every year she complained about me buying too much stuff. And I'm a big kid myself. Anybody that knows me, I'm very much so a big kid. I like to play games. I like to do stuff, just good for the kids. So, that's why I spoil kids on Christmas. That's why Christmas is so big to me because, growing up didn't have much. So that was one of my number one goals and I stuck to it to make sure I have enough to where my kids won't be in need. Make sure my kids, feel love through the monetary stuff and the physical one, which loving them, hugging them, talking to them, more or less both ways. The monetary stuff like the clothes and stuff, they appreciate it too. So that's one of the big things. You know, so Four Corners, what's going on, custom? Four Corners, what's going on, man? And that's one of the biggest things that I try to do with Christmas. But like I said, this year we slowed down on it. I'm gonna go ahead and not buy as much this year. I'm gonna stick to my wife's plan. She don't want to buy as much. She want to just go ahead and get ready for the New Year's because it's like honestly speaking, we buy so much throughout the year. So it's like we really don't have a set time like where we just give gifts. If my wife wants something, she go get it. If she ain't got it, she talk to me and we'll work it out and we'll both make it happen. That's the whole thing. We don't need holidays. To holidays is just another day for majority to give a little more. just for the kids. But when they get older, like my older kids, wasn't hardly getting them nothing on Christmas because they got everything throughout the year most. There was nothing pretty much to a degree that the kids really needed badly that they didn't already have or could get. When it came to the certain shoes, when it came to certain shoes, yeah, you put a stipulation on that. I remember my daughter one year wanted some shoes called spray bears, and the thing of it was, appreciate it, and they was like $180. My wife told my daughter she don't even spend, you know, at least about a hundred something on her shoes. So what make her think she's gonna get 180? She only spend 180 on her own shoes. And she got Coach shoes. Most of her Coach shoes came from TJ Maxx and stuff like that, but they have them on sale. But other than that, she actually wanted some spray bear. I think the most expensive ones we got for her is about 120 some bucks. Eh, Sorry about that, Yarny. Still waking up. But I actually was gonna get them for my daughter just because she wanted them that bad. My wife, she was like, she's like, if you get them, I'm gonna take them back. So it was like, couldn't fight with it. My son, he wasn't really that big on shoes like that. Got him a pair of Jordans in here and there, but like I said, it was like 100 because at the time, my size, my Jordans was running 150, $200. So I know with him getting older, getting in the men's size, I knew eventually I was gonna have to start paying that much for a decent pair of shoes for him. So I didn't bother with that, but my daughter was more or less on a different story to where my wife didn't want to spend that much. My cap was 150. And I always tell my kid, your shoes match your grades. Like my son now, he ended up wanting a pair of Jordans, and he's still in I think grade school size shoes. So he got Jordans that go for 150, but in my size, they're I think about 250. So like I told him when he wanted those pair of Jordans, I said they don't reflect your grades. You know, if you had all A's, I got the money, it's not a problem. But if I got the money and you ain't got the grades, they don't match. So I can't give you that when your grades don't match what your reflect. Go P, what's going on, man? Shout out to you. Yeah, man. Hey, honestly, asked about that ain't even that for my truck, man. I got a '98 Dodge Ram, 4x4 Magnum with I think it's the 5.9, and I think mine hold about one. No, I think it's 30 gallons. I think it holds about 30 gallons because gas down here is close to about $3. I could put when it was going up. I think the most I ever put in my car, because I'm trying to figure out at $3, because I don't really drive my truck now. So the most thing I do is I put about $75 in there, and I ride out, and that get me close to about 20 something gallons. $75 put me around 20 something gallons. But yeah, man, I mean, like that's crazy. You know, I think the most I ever put in that truck was 156. I think that's the most I ever put in the truck was 156. But when it come down to it, man, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's expensive for these kids, and then not to mention, my son, he likes nice. He's like me when I was growing up. I was into all that high end stuff, but I wasn't getting it. Didn't have the money, so I knew how to piece things up. I knew how to go to Ross, give me a couple of name brand shirts, a couple of name brand pants, because the focus with me was shirts and shoes. Everybody who's wearing those stylish pants, I came to the conclusion with me getting into that, like people don't really look at your clothes like that. They mostly pay. I mean, your pants. They mostly pay attention to your shirt and your shoes. So that's what I would always garner, trying to, get a nice shirt and a nice pair of shoes, and that would hit me. Okay, yeah. See, I got the 5.9 more than mine. Going on, shout out to everybody. Yeah, see, that's hey man, them trucks, they got them tanks. So you gotta I think you said 33 gallons. Okay. See, I know mine, I know it had to be over 30, but I never let it get all the way to EE. You know, I need to check it and see how many got. I probably got that about 35. I got you. I got your AP. Got your AP. Yeah, man. So okay. Yeah. No, I thought you ain't had rent. I was about to say I already got you on your rent for you for the new one on the wave over here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, man. But like I said, back to normal, getting everything together with the paperwork. I'm gonna start trying to do more finance, getting these spreadsheets and templates to show y'all where y'all can get online and look up different templates to save money. Showing templates to show you how you can get get things as far as your credit done. A lot of this stuff you can do on your own. A lot of people just don't have the time, and I get it. But if you got the time, hey, put in the work. Same thing with building your credit. Me and my wife got a challenge, $500 that by I think next year I would have to before Christmas get a higher credit score than hers. So her credit score can steadily increase, but my credit score just have to beat hers by 1 point in order for me to win $500. And say the least, I'm not ashamed. I'm gonna tell people my credit score right now is a six. I think a 680, and I think it dropped by 20 points because I missed the payment. I had a notification on my phone. I said I was gonna pay it around the time, and I think it hit like 15, 30 days or something like that. So I missed the payment. Instantly dropped my points by 20. So I think I'm close to like a 660 something now. Now my wife, her credit score, I think is a 768. And so I'm like, okay, we're gonna run the numbers. You got a 768, I got a 660 something. So I was like, let's run it. And we made the bet just this Thanksgiving. And the kids were saying, nah, do it to Christmas, because that's the thing. I was looking at what's her name? Love Dorsey. Love Dorsey say, some of y'all parents, y'all talk a lot of junk. Show your kids your credit score and see what they say. Show your kids your paycheck and let them know like this is what y'all fighting for when y'all act like y'all want this and want that. I gotta separate bill pay, rent, food, all this out of this type of check every month. So I was like, okay. So we was discussing credit with the kids and talking with them. First me and my wife were just talking, so they got into the conversation and listening. So we started talking about credit and everything. Like I went in on my kids this weekend so bad, man. I kind of felt bad of myself. Yeah, I mean, but I only reason like my credit score get down is because of missed payments. Like I really don't have nothing on my credit but two credit cards. I could pay those two credit cards off. My junk can instantly jump up. I already jumped on my cousin. He got nice credit. So this is a hack I did. My wife don't know about it, but um, the crazy part is you get me off topic. That's why I be looking at the chat, man. Y'all be wilding. Yeah. So the crazy part is, dang, I lost my thought. That's crazy. Let's see, I was talking about the credit. Oh yeah, the hack with my cousin. So basically, my cousin he got good credit. A1. He out like his like I told this is my cousin that I say his mom went into accounting and she went to she got technical degree in it. She went to a little trade school, so she what I'm saying learned it, got a job doing it. She worked for Sears, and then she ended up starting her own business. She had her own corner store. But basically, when it comes down to it, it was crazy because I told her I was like, heck, I could just slide on my cousin, become an authorized user on his account and boom, there you go. So I got my two credit cards plus, he went on ahead and gave it to me. I told him don't give it to me. And so he's like, man, just use it for gas or something like that if you need to, just to show some activity on there. So yeah, I use it for gas, throw him his little $40, $50 back. And then, I told him, I was like, dang. So when I really started seeing how the credit system worked dealing with him, I'm like, man, I'm making this dude rich. And, I was sitting out talking to one of my friends, and he started laughing. He's like, how you say you make your cousin rich? I was like, man, don't you know, like a couple of times I didn't use the card for big purchase. I went and bought like laptops for my kids. So I used the card for that big purchase. You know what I'm saying? Got the laptops, got the software, got the was it the insurance on it and stuff? No, came up to almost 1,000 some bucks. Boom. Use the card. He got points on his card, and he got to discover, I think, with the point system, and the same as my American Express. So I was running my American Express, just buying. We'll go out to a restaurant. I slap the card out. Boom. You know what I'm saying? I got my little got my little cap limit. So I slap the card down, pay for everybody at the table. They like, oh man, I'm like, try to write this junk off, so I'm good. I'm like, yeah, y'all just give me the tip. I say, everybody give me $20 or something like that, and that covers that. And then, because I think everybody spent about with drinks and all about 25, $30 maybe. So basically, I ain't do nothing but cap no more than about $5 to $10 off of everybody's meal. So it still made me look like I was balling, but there we go, professor. But it made me look like I was balling because I made everybody save about 15. When you do the numbers, you like, man, I just ain't do nothing but save my meal was $25. So instead of him splitting the bill, I paid my 25. He got 20 for me. So basically I saved 15. So it's like a win in their book until you get to the other people that, they probably spent about 40 and they capped 20. And that's a very much win in their book. And they like, dang, next time we go out, he might do this again. So I'm gonna eat more and then just throw him a dub. Then when I don't do it, mess up their they be like, hey, see, hey man, keep this on the under, man. Man, I get a 20 for man, cause I thought you was gonna do the bill like, hey man, just slide me the money. I go ahead and put it on my card, man. Just give me the receipt too. Just when I go to, pay for my food, slide your receipt around. Yeah, just slide over there, tap me on the shoulder, get to me while you go to the bath. I go on and pay for it. But stuff like that, man, it'd be funny. But yeah, man. So doing that, I started realizing with his card that he was getting points. And with those points, you can pay your credit card down with your points, or you can buy, or you can get gift cards. So one year he hit me up and he was like, yeah, man, my wife done ran through my gift cards. I said, what you mean? He said, with the credit card, I spend points, I get the fly miles and all this other stuff. And I started looking more into it. I'm like, this dude sitting over here on the gold mine. I see why he want people to get on his card and be authorized. That's even like his son. His son's been crazy. His son, he does the Google AdSense, and so he might spend $500 in one day. 2,000 in a week, something like that. It depends on how much he want on the advertisement from Google for his business. So when his son run them numbers up on his business, he's actually giving his dad the points to get all kind of stuff. Because I learned that when I did my credit card, man, I had got and it was crazy. The points that I had, I ended up getting a $150 gift card for this restaurant called Cheddar's that I go to. So I'm like, well, let me just get the cash for my points. So I compared the cash to the same amount of gift cards for the Cheddar's, which is $150. I said, okay, let me go ahead and cash it. Don't you know, when I was converting into cash, they were telling me that if I wanted cash for the same like 8,000 points, I wouldn't have got nothing but $50. No, it was $75. Because it was half of whatever the cash of the car was. It was $75. But if I wanted to get the gift card for the food, it was 150. I'm like, why not just give me the 150? Even if I wanted a gift card, a Visa gift card, I could have did no more than I think 75. No, I think it was like $60 for a Visa gift card because I was gonna still get cash. I was like, dang, they really make you want to spend your money on these gift cards for the food. And then if you try to pay back on your bill, it's the same thing. So I'm like, why not just go ahead and get the gift card? I go out to eat anyway. So the money that I'm spending out to eat, I could just take that money and convert it to pay the bills and other things because that's what I'm naturally doing. So I'm like, dang it. Then like with flyer miles, I haven't got into that yet, because I don't have a card that does the flyer miles because I don't actually travel as much like that. But next year, that's when my wife, me, and I go. Our goal is to go on 2 trips out of the country by next year. We're gonna have 2 trips per year. We're gonna start trying to push 2 trips per year, trying every 6 months. So that's gonna be one of our biggest goals to go on a trip every 6 months. Right now, we're scheduled to go somewhere in March or April of next year because we just came from Jamaica in October. So we're trying to schedule to go somewhere in March or April, and that'll be the time that we might do it with the kids. It's gonna be somewhere. Not. I don't know if we're gonna do because with the kids that cost a little more, but we'll see. But I know because like I said, they go to Jamaica every year. They didn't go last year because of their grades. But yeah, we might end up taking the boys to Costa Rica and everything. Swoop. We might take the boys to Costa Rica because we know somebody up in Costa Rica. So we might take the boys with us to Costa Rica because they have kids too. And we know them, and I haven't seen her kids in so long. So by the time we get over there, them kids gonna be just about grown as my boys. But yeah, so we thinking about going to Costa Rica. Then we're gonna plan to go to Mexico because I want to go to the Mayan mountains. I'm like a real good historian. I like exploring and all that stuff. Just seeing it in person, taking those pictures, gonna be so big because that's it's gonna break into some other stuff that I be looking into about my history and everything as well. But yeah, man. So just trying to get the kids moving around and get them, happy and big, and then also, what's going on, April, and then getting, us with a budget to where we can set the tone and doing all that. And like I said, if I start booming like that, I might have to get a Visa card with flyer miles. And oh, Pete game for people that like to fly, and I learned this, with Mark Cuban when he sold it when I think he sold one of his companies. He got something called a Flyers Pass that he paid 125,000 for, and he has unlimited flights. I think for the year on that card. I seen that JetBlue had something similar to a program like that. Well, you just pay like a flat fee of $500, and they will give you like a bargain ticket. You pay a flat fee of 500 a month, and then they were giving you like some type of bargain where you only had to pay $100 for the flight. every time you fly. And I was like, man, I've been looking more into it because, like I said, that's something that I want to get into. Because when I start flying and doing a lot of flying, I might even have to go, do this hack that one of my friends did. One of my friends went to work at Delta part time just so he can get those free flights. And now they have the buddy passes where you go international now. So my thing is to get the buddy pass to get over there. And then once I get over there, if need be, I can always, you know, have the money to come back because I don't trust those buddy passes coming back like that. But yeah, that's something to look into. For people that really like flying and might go work at the airport. You don't have to handle the bags. I got a partner, his cousin, she works in customer service. Just booking and stuff like that, and helping people schedule flights, doing like itineraries and certain things for people. And that's what she do. She got her aunt on there. She got her sister on there, and flights just they gone all the time. My wife, I know, I think one of her brothers was working there at the airport, and that's how he every weekend this guy was gone. He ain't got no kids. He young. I think he's about what 27, 28. So every weekend this guy's gone. Never see him on the weekend. I'm talking about from Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, Jamaica, all domestic flights, Vegas, Cali, New York, Denver, Chicago, Miami. So he running. Then he got his brother up in Charlotte, so he gonna start hitting Charlotte a lot. You know, so it's like, hey, that's a good look for somebody got some older kids that you want to fly. Hey, encourage your kids to go work for the airport. But I'm about to go ahead and get off of here. But like I said, shout out to everybody came through. Start budgeting your money. Start, what I'm saying, figuring those pennies out what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Try to have an understanding. If you want to start budgeting for something, go ahead and have that goal, stick it out, do what needs to be done. Man, I've been slacking on my business, man. And Four Corners, man, I've been looking at your posts and stuff too. Cause I'm thinking about going ahead and picking this mantle back up and getting into designing again. Because I was real big on trying to get my own fashion company. I was gonna go to Barter College down here in Georgia. It's like the cheaper version of the Art Institute, and I was gonna go there for fashion design. But that was always my biggest thing. I was, stylish guy back in the day when I was a little young whippersnapper. So, I was putting these pieces together. I was, styling. But that was the thing. That's what made great designers back in the day in the hood. When you didn't have much, you had to put it together and make it still look good. So, I'd say to myself that, I might not been the top dress, but I still was pretty fresh in high school. So I was gonna get back in it and look into it. And one of the videos dropped uh, social proof where these two guys, and it's a guy from Mobile. You probably heard of him called Tuteless Clothing. Some guys from Mobile. They up in Atlanta now. I think it's called Tuteless Clothing, a Tulan Clothing Company, and two young guys. What's the guy name? Benji. Forgot the other guy name, but the Benji, I distinctly remember Benji because it's Benjamin. And Benji was talking about the clothing line and stuff like that. But yeah, they from Mobile, and he ended up going to the ATL and doing their clothing line. And guys have a good, nice clothing line. I like it. And they was on the Social Proof podcast, and saying that they made like $17 million Black Friday weekend in 2020. These guys made $1 million that weekend. Now that's crazy. And then on top of that, during the whole 2020, they were able to move around and sell stuff out their truck to a degree because the people that were out still wanted to get free. Man, don't you know the clubs? Most clubs were still open out here in Atlanta. They was down there with masks on up in the clubs, and some of them didn't require masks in the club. But say the least, even with those guys doing their thing, uh, they was selling clothes, and they was like, if you come to the house, you had to spend I think about 1,500 or so much to come to the house to buy clothes. They was only taking orders of 700 or 750 or more. You know, so it was always that thing that really starting to push back in the back of my head, like, jump back out there, get your designs back. I got a homeboy. What's this? His company, Tesserin, and he making like the hood shirts. One of the guys that yeah, but yep, with that clothing line, they doing pretty good. And so, like I said, I got a homeboy. His clothing line. Um, he had a couple of hood shirts and stuff like that. He got a one with Dion saying that they you play well, they spin well. So that's when he first came to Atlanta. So he doing a lot of classic Atlanta themes. He from the east side of Decatur, so he got like a lot of east side legends. This old pimp guy that got on drugs. But the one thing I could say, dude was always sharp, you know, always sharp. You know, every time he went out, he'd be out talking to the young people, talking junk, and he was like, "Yeah, I remember back in the day, I had my Cadillac and all this," and he was, buffing. So my partner made a T-shirt of him. He making T-shirt, just a lot of stuff that people, do around the neighborhood, and he was selling out with them. That's the thing. You find your niche in which people like and what motivates your designs, and they'll sell itself. Even like with Kanye, man, my thing is with him, I was sitting there looking and I was like, that's crazy. This guy makes all this money from other companies, but he hasn't taken the time to actually look and see how he can make this money himself. Go to one of those Chinese connects, print your own clothes out. The only issue he'll have is getting stuff shipped over here. The first batch, you buy it in bundles. He already has a connect that he can go over their flights and deal with these people. The second, third, and fourth batch, you put it up under another company name. Have it ran through somebody else. And they just a handler for your clothes. You can have your clothes go through them as a handler, and you can sit here and have all your clothes go through you that you want, and a couple of pieces every month. So when the distributors think that they're gonna break you down and stop shipping your clothes and hold your stuff up at the port, it's already being moved through another company. You gotta play like the cat and mouse game when it comes sometimes. But at the same time, that's what I'm saying. Like when it all boils down, hey, you gotta have a game plan. You gotta have a goal to succeed. You don't have to be up on a certain company to make yourself be something. He can do good for it. He already got the name. His name is already buzzing. People are gonna fall in line. We already know. Us as a community, if it's hot, we gonna buy. Others trend off of us. So saying the least, if Kanye was to come out with his own brand right now, no matter how much people say they don't like Kanye, this and that, if it's hot, it's just hot. Like them Yeezy slippers, I don't really like them as much, but it's different. And people who got an eye for fashion, something is different gonna keep that buzz no matter what you say or how you see it. So, you know,
When it comes down to it, it's just self-explanatory. Ye need to go ahead and just start putting his name and his labels on his stuff. The more he try to work with people, see, he has that creative mindset, and he just need a good designer to work with him. I got Benji and them that I told you about with tooling this. Their designs come to life through a great design. They have uh Kawafi Nino, one of the guys I talked to in his space. Kawafi Nino has a line that he does for himself. That's pretty nice. You know, Nino's very into fashion. I just thought about it. I don't even know if I want to say this because me and him talk. I don't know if he want people to know about that, but it's nothing bad. But like I just say, he has his own line that he have for himself. I just not gonna say the name that he's trying to work with. But for the most part, Nino has a good eye. Nino's been in just about every industry, but Nino know how to put stuff together. Nino's good with fashion. When me and Nino was sitting down talking about the different fashion districts, looking at different clothes and stuff like that, designers and all, Nino has that eye for it. Like when I showed him my shorts that I made on my own, like just freehand. I started off with a pattern and it got so difficult when me kept cutting every piece out. I just did it freehand. I eyeballed it, looked it up, stitched it. I double stitched certain things I wanted look different. Like one day I'm gonna pull out my pants and I'm just gonna do a video just on how I did these pants. I did it with cheap what was it? Cheap khakis from Wiscom, from Walmart. So that's one thing that Ye always was talking about, the material. So if I would have actually went to a fabric store and got better material, I could still be wearing those shorts now. But because the material was so cheap, I wore those shorts out several times, and people was like, "Wait, man, what are those?" I was like, "Man, these mine." It was like, "What you mean mine?" I was like, "I made these." You know, my one of my labels that I had back in the day that I had was Scarred Nation. That was my whole thing of coming up in the Scarred Nation. The way we live is in the Scarred Nation. I took it from Scar off of the Lion King, and I put the nation because I wanted to like do something for the people, through the struggle. And I put Scarred Nation uh, with two R's. But and another label I had was LQM. LQM was a combination of three of my partners, well, two of my partners and me. And LQM was our brand because, you know, we more or less were friends growing up, and they just attached themselves to my brand and started trying to give me more insight and pushing me to push this out and do that. So I was the main designer, and they was like, man, one of my friends, Nick, he was big on fashion. Like this dude, his older brother had money, so he always got the latest and hot things. Another one of my partners, Queese, he was always getting the latest and hot things because his mom and dad, well, basically his mom mostly, but his dad too, but his mom mostly spoiled him because it's that same thing that I told you about earlier. Growing up, you want the best from your kids, from which you didn't have. And so that's the thing. Yeah. Yeah, just reading your thing right here. Yeah, but the biggest thing to me with Ye, he was saying that once before about getting in the industry and finding the secrets, and that was one of the things that Joe Button broke down when he did did the podcast with Spotify. A lot of people didn't understand. He could have went with any. He probably could have got way more money with any other company than Spotify. But the only reason he did with Spotify because they were the only one that was going to release those numbers. And see, the numbers that's what you can run off your design and run off like your numbers on knowing what the product that you. Every company know their bottom line. Every company know their target market. Every company knows because they completely always run the numbers. You know, the fictional numbers, what their projected numbers are, and their actual numbers pretty much almost run head to head and everything because you're doing the research. You constantly have a target market. You constantly have an audience. You're constantly getting a new audience. You're constantly trying to put a buzz out there. And with the company tooling this, they said that something that was remarkable. And I was thinking if I would get into it, this what I would do the same thing as well. Because they have socks. They give you free socks. They give you toothbrushes. They have like little door basketballs that hook onto your door and have the little basketball you can shoot with. Give you stuff like that for free. And he was like, toothbrush. He's like, you brush your teeth anyway. So even if you got a Colgate or whatever, you got a toothbrush, man. You might have like I have toothbrushes. Let's see. I think I have this toothbrush in the car still. I think it's in the glove box. I ain't gonna get it. But basically, I always go to like the Dollar Tree and I always get them little travel toothbrushes. I have one in my truck, one in my car, one in my work truck, and I have my regular mechanical toothbrush at home. You know, and it was funny that my wife had talked to her dentist, and she was telling the dentist that I be trying to get her hooked on these toothbrushes, the mechanical ones, and she don't want them. She like the old fashioned way of brushing her teeth regularly. And the dentist was like, you need to get like your husband and get with the times because those mechanical, like honestly, I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. I don't even floss my teeth because they have a flosser on my toothbrush. I got the what is the Oral-B? I have an Oral-B brush and it has like plastic little um flaps with the bristles. And all you have to do is get to your teeth and get on those angles. It gets all the way into the crevice of your teeth for one, and any little gaps, it slides in there, pushes that stuff out. When I rinse my mouth before I brush my teeth, I use that before I brush my teeth, then turn around, rinse my mouth out, brush my teeth. Anything that you didn't get out in the first wash, it came out in the second wash. I've never used that toothbrush, and even after I floss, just when I first started to using it, because I was always flossing, I never got anything stuck in my teeth ever using that toothbrush. Every time it always came out. I told my wife, I'm like, this works. Then listen, she liked the old fashioned way. I'm like, okay, stand with the times, you're gonna get lost. Her doctor told her. My cousin told me about the water pick. I was like, water pick? He was like, yeah, but the dentist used the water pick. I went and bought one for Christmas. I got the whole station in there. The toothbrush is bogus. It's the vibrating one. And all it does is like a small little hum as you brushing your teeth. That completely does nothing for my teeth. It has no rotating bristles or anything. The other one is very much so better. Yeah, I'm big. Like that's one of my things because I don't go to the dentist as much. So I'm very big on my teeth, especially looking good as well too. Like one time I ain't go to the dentist for a whole 10 years. And they were shocked. They were like, for a person that hasn't been to the dentist in 10 years, you really don't have no tartar on your teeth. We would think more you would have more plaque in between like your gum line. It was like a deep cleaning would get a lot of your stuff out because over time, and I know that like with the deep cleaning over time, if you're not flossing and getting in between your teeth thoroughly, that's why all the plaque and everything gets in there. And then you got to look at the fact of it too is rinsing your mouth out with Listerine and stuff. A lot of people don't use that. It cuts down on the germs and bacteria that sets up in your mouth. So that's another thing that people don't look big. I'm going on a big old tangent about brushing teeth, but that's one of the biggest things. And so like with that water pick, it hits that tooth a whole lot better. Flushing it Just like with the water, man, shooting that water through there, getting down that gum line, coming around the backside, anything in there, it's gonna loosen it up and break it up. So I have those two main components that keep my teeth looking good. You know, yeah, my teeth could be whiter. You get it polished, and like everybody else, still going to the dentist all the time. But my thing is, I'm doing it naturally, my way too as well. Of course, I make more visits now that I'm older because I'm scared of losing all my teeth. Being an old man with no teeth, so I'm technically going to the dentist more. But the point of it is, that's mainly like the crazy part of that. Me worrying about losing my teeth, what makes me go to the dentist more. But other than that, nah, man, take care of these teeth. I take care of my teeth. But trying to figure out what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, but that's one of the biggest things. Those I got the Oral B toothbrush with the rotating head, and they have actually four different kinds you can get. You get the regular brush, you can have the floss one with the bristles and the plastic little flaps that go in between the teeth. I forgot the other two. I know they have a extra floss type of brush because they have the two. They have the basic just brush. Then they have a brush with the extended bristles out that goes into the gum line a little deeper. Then they have the floss one. I forgot what the last one is, but they have four different rotating heads that you can use for your toothbrush. And the crazy part is, like, one of them costs like $8, literally. And I'm constantly, buying those. Okay, constantly buying those, to get my teeth clean and good. The water pick going in there and splashing and hitting that hard. Like, I literally Black Friday, I think it was like 2 years ago. Just randomly looking on Walmart. Actually today it was Cyber Monday. I bought a water pick toothbrush, and I bought it for like, I think it was like $26. That was the cheapest I've seen it. Like, those things were going for like $80 and stuff like that and more. So that was the cheapest I seen it. It's the water pick and the toothbrush. Like, I really don't even use the toothbrush. I try to get my wife to use that toothbrush. Really, I actually try to get her to use the other one. This is the crazy part. I actually bought all my kids those things. When I first bought them, they was like $75 a piece. I literally bought every one of them one, and I just kept buying the rotating heads, which was like $8 for one, and they give you, I think, three of them was for like 28 dollars or something like that. And I was steady buying them because, like I said, I needed them, for my teeth. My kids, they stopped using them. I've always used that toothbrush. Never had as many problems as my kids because I've always used that toothbrush. Going on tangents about toothbrush and brushing teeth. And your tongue, like, I have a tongue scraper that came with that kit. A lot of people don't brush their teeth. I mean, a lot of people don't brush their tongue. That's the crazy part too. A lot of people don't brush their tongues, you know. But say the least, like I was saying about the fashion, like, that industry, man, is big. It's booming, you know. And everybody got their little niche, they certain type of style of clothes they like. And I mean, all it takes is you to put a set of price on a trend. Like when Shaq came out with his affordable shoes, Shaq could have came out with two pair. Even though it got, stubbed with the other pair, the affordable pair, he could have kept it at $50. Like the Stephon Marbury's. I told you I bought a pair of those. Those were, going back in the day. Bought a pair of those, the Stephon Marbury's. Yeah, I'm getting close to my time now. Sorry to do this to y'all, but I've been on here rocking for a minute. Gotta go ahead and bail out. Gotta go make this money. Gotta get ready more for this holiday season. Save some more, spend some more. and I gotta do some more of this business stuff I've been working on. But shout out to everybody that came through once again. Back, I'm gonna try to see if I can go ahead and start cutting y'all in every morning, like my back to regularly scheduled programming. But shout out to everybody that came through. And once again, you already know we here, and we gone.